So in this part of the lesson, we are going to have to break out our calculators a little bit. So I'm just going to choose to go to Desmos. My computer's been acting a little bit crazy. Where is it? You lost it. Desmos. It wants to go to this Yahoo thing and it's driving me bananas. Okay, so I'm just going to go here. You'll notice in here, I do need to go to settings if I'm going to use Desmos. And for this particular application, I'm going to switch it to degrees in my calculator, okay? But I'm going to use the Desmos calculator to do the calculations. We will get into doing this on the graphing calculator as well. All right, so I'm going to go back to my presentation here. So this time I've got to use sine, cosine, and tangent to find the missing sides. I'm not so worried about the missing angles. Hopefully they don't ask you for that. If they do, we know they add up to 180, so you could always subtract. So I'm going to label that as 52 degrees in there. And then I'm going to label side C as 12. And what we're supposed to do is find A and B. So if this is my reference angle, that means this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent. So I'm going to start by doing the opposite leg and doing a sine calculation. So sine of 52 equals B, my opposite, over 12. Well, I need to take this to get B by itself and multiply it on the other side. So I have 12 sine of 52 equals B. And when I go to my calculator, so I'm just going to type that in, 12 sine of 52, and I'm just going to double check. I'm in degrees so that I know that that length of that side, and I'm always going to do 3 decimal places in calculus. So 9.456, and I don't have to round. I can actually just chop it off. Likely your book is going to round. I don't know. Look in WebAssign and do what they tell you to do, okay, as far as decimal places go. So 9.456. Oops. So B is 9.456. I also need to do A. So A is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, so that would be cosine of 52 equals A over 12. I multiply both sides by 12. And then I'm going to go ahead again and put that into my calculator. So 12 cosine of 52, and I get 7.387. 7.387. So 7.387. And we might need to round that up to an 8 depending upon what your book takes. You'll have a couple of tries in the book or on the WebAssign problems. So if you're not getting it right the first time, you can try again. All right, I'm going to label this one as 73 degrees there. And then the B is 18. So that makes this the opposite. Across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. And next, I wrote A. That is an O. And then next to the reference angle is the adjacent. So it definitely looks like I have I could use cosine and I could use tangent maybe. So this one's a little bit different. So I'm going to start with the tangent of 73 equals the opposite A over 18. So this looks very similar to the last ones. I'm going to multiply both sides by 18. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put that into my Desmos calculator. So 18 times the tangent of, it was 73, right? Let's double check. Yep. So that turns out to be 58.875. So 58.875. Okay, now I have to do the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is a little bit different. I'm always going to start with whatever nice number they give me. That's just my habit. Then I don't mess up the answer because this is technically a truncated or rounded decimal. So I'm going to say that I know I have the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So I know that that's cosine of 73 equals 18 over C. Well, do you notice how the variable's in the denominator this time? So this is a little bit different. I'm going to take and multiply both sides by C. So I have C times cosine of 73 equals 18. And this, remember, is just a decimal point number. So I'm going to move it to the other side by dividing. So I know I've got C equals 18 divided by the cosine of 73. So I'm going to put that into Desmos now. So 18, and I'm going to hit the slashy key to get a divide. Cosine, it was 73. So 61.565. So C equals 61.565.